Well, let me say a word of welcome to you. I'm Reese Potterville, serving as the president of the Graduate Theological Union. And we're very pleased that you're here with us tonight for this event. The program that looks at sacred texts really began in about 1993, and it has gone on every year since. Looking at texts from all kinds of religions and sometimes how texts are embodied in people's lives. And so there's been a great variety of these programs. And I do want to note a couple of people who are here tonight, and if you'd maybe stand when I talk about you, that would be great. We have Nancy Soleri is here, and Nancy's been, she's the chair of the Sacred Text Committee for the library and also a supporter and a dear friend of the library for a long time, a former trustee of the school. So thank you, Nancy. Robert Benedetto is our director of the library in the back, and Robert is, has a very complex job. Because, of course, resources now, not just books, but electronic. And now we have, if you, after this program, if you look at the display of Tibetan artwork that's in the main floor below us, pieces that are sort of at the bottom of those display shelves are part of a collection of sacred art that's been given to the GTU. And Mayor Graham and Gloria are here tonight, and they're the donors of these works of art. So if someone will cooperate with me and give me a lot of money, I'm going to work on displays, because there are really in the collection over 200 pieces.
Wow.
And so that's on my agenda ahead. And now we turn to this evening, and we're very pleased to have the Venerable Thepo Rinpoche, and he's going to be introduced by Ron Nakasone, who is a professor of art and religion and also does calligraphy and has a deep and abiding interest in Buddhism. So Ron, can I call you?
Excuse me, but Ron was one of the participants at one point. You did calligraphy for us.
That's correct. That was almost 20 years ago.
Yes, one of our sacred texts.
Yeah.
Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Sacred Text. I have the great distinct honor of introducing the Venerable Thepo Tulku Rinpoche. And I only know this guy for a few months, and we met through the internet. So internet dating actually works. But anyway, when we first met him, I was working on an encyclopedia on, what was that now, Asian American spiritual cultures. And I was kind of stymied because I needed something on Tibet. And so, is Enver here? Enver is on the GQ introduction. But anyway, he was the one that sort of found Thepo Tulku, and with Robert, we went to visit him, and we have a slide from that time. Anyway, so we became friends, and so I asked him to join us because we had the collection from 1 year here, and we wanted to add to that, and I thought, why not have a whole sequence of things, not only the exhibit itself, but also a sacred text talk, holistic presentation. So I think that's all I have to say. Oh, before I forget, Thepo Tulku brought some books. It's just $20 donation. If you want to leave more, that's fine. And there's some books in here that Thepo Tulku did mention, did show me, which kind of intrigued me. So some of these have been sketched and scanned, and it's on the slide. And there are others here. I'll just leave this here for your edification. later on. And let's see, so enough for propaganda. So I'd like to introduce the Venerable Thepo Tulku. Thank you very much. Before I forget, when we speak about sacred text, we always think of a body of work. But I thought today, after studying Buddhism for many years, I realized that these texts that we have are nothing more than somebody writing something down, and it's kind of an afterthought almost. But here, these texts actually describe or reflect a human experience. So today we have a real human to talk to us. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. And like Professor Nakasan said, Tibetan also have two different. One is texts written by the disciples, like a Buddha's teaching, right by the other disciples, chief disciples, students. One is he himself taught. So usually people who write, the second person who writes always exaggerate it. Myself, I'm not going to exaggerate. I will talk whatever my experience, my life. So I think it is something, if there is some kind of experience, my experience will contribute something in this daily life. Maybe sometimes people have a misunderstanding of Tibet. Tibet is the land of mystery, kind of like people are very meditating, and people flying, or people jumping, enlightened, but Tibetan people are the same as usual, normal people. But there is one unique mindset I found is we Tibetans are very grown up from the little kids as a Buddhist culture. So Buddhist culture is very inseparable from our life. And so that's what maybe have some kind of contribution. Our mental process always don't harm to anybody. That is from the beginning, from the little kid, that you're grown up with a hatred to be harmed to anyone. And second one is, what I told before, we have an understanding of, we believe rebirth. Tibetan Buddhism believes rebirth. So we have understanding of the little kid, all the sentient beings being your mother. So they are equally, all the sentient beings are equally kindness to your mother, you represent your mother. So that's how much you generating the respect to all the human beings to become a unity. So when I was in Tibet, it's very isolated, very small country. But when I came to India, when I see so many different faces, but for myself, even a little boy, I can feel all like brother, sister feeling. This is, I think, a very kind of like a unique training, grown-up life, not like a teacher, but from your family, parents. Your parents teach you how to be respect, how to be your generating people, to see no stranger, everybody one family. So this is, I think we need this time all in this world. We need to have a one unity, one world. So I think that was, I think right now my experience, I'm thinking this is something contribute to me. Even like right now, like 1954 I was born, and 59 we lost our country, so it's only 5 years old. But then I've grown up in India. Since then, I haven't get a chance to go back to Tibet. Because my parents still left in Tibet. I never met my parents. And my both parents already passed away because of the occupation of the Chinese military. And my relatives still suffering there. But still, I have understanding the fine line between the Chinese government policy and Chinese people. I don't have any hatred for the Chinese people. I don't have any, still we are suffering, we're still fighting for our freedom, our human rights. But I don't believe there's a human right to do with any politics. It is something to do with our human suffering. We have to speak out, we have to get our country to be peaceful. So that's why I've grown up in India with almost like orphan. I grown up with my teacher. My teacher is almost like my father. And but we grown up with so much Tibetan all over in India, much help of the Indian government, but still we don't have any. If you say there's no violence to killing or other revenge with the Chinese people or government, because this is our understanding is compassion, love, share all human sentient being. All we have to be our mother. But we have to be support for Tibetan human rights, support for Tibetan cause, because this is not fair to be a suffer anybody. So that's the way.
So can you tell us something about your country? Just you mentioned a little bit.
Yeah, I think here most people already know, so I don't need to really explain. But this is the Tibet, and I was born. I thought you saw in something.
Lhasa.
Yeah, where? Yes. Yes, I was born in that. I was born in Lhasa, but my name Thepo Tulku came from here. Yeah, Amdo. That was my name came from this. There's a little. This side have a little city town named Thepo. So my Thepo Tulku, the first one, came from there. But then I must have born in Lhasa, and I grown up in a monastery. Luckily I was already admitted Tibetan monastery called Ganden Monastery, which is very next to the Lhasa. Next to the Lhasa. And next to the Lhasa called Ganden Monastery, at about 5,000 monks. I was there when I was a little boy, like 3 years old. 3 years old, the monks came to my place, my home, and they choose me as their reincarnation of the 8th Thepo Tulku. Then I admitted to the London Monastery for only 1957, 8, and 59 in exile to India. Since then I live in India, near Dharamsala, near Himalaya, Himachal. That is near, actually not too far from Tibet, near Kashmir. I've grown up where the Hisham Dalai Lama resided. Since then, 1959 to until 1980, I'm living. Dharamsala is northern India. We have a re-established Tibetan monastery. My university was established in South India. So I go study in South India, I come back, Dharamsala, live in Dharamsala, and I go back and forth. So north and south. So.
Can you tell us a little bit about how you were chosen as a Thepo Tulku? Who is this first Thepo Tulku?
Yeah, the first Thepo Tulku is this is like in American, I think year is like 1543. 1543 is the first Thepo Tulku was recognized. Thepo Tulku was, because he was, before he was a Lama monk, but I told you the Amdo near here. And he came from here to come to Lhasa and Ganden to study, and then he became a scholar. And he became scholar, and then he became a very good meditator and well-known teacher in that monastery. And then he became the second one is he became the Thepo Tulku, where the people recognize. Usually Tibetans, one of the people scholar, great practitioner, who were well respected. And when he died, before he died, the disciples asked, "Can you come back?" So sometimes they said, "No, don't bother me." I think he says he will come back. Maybe he enjoyed. so he said he accepted to come back. So he became a second Thepo Tulku. And second Thepo Tulku also was born in San Amdo. They recognized. And that was like a 1543 around there. And that time is Dalai Lama was third Dalai Lama. And they have a little connection with the Thepo Tulku and Dalai Lama at that time, because Thepo Tulku was a very well-known scholar, and he'd written a lot of books with texts. The text you still can find in Library of Congress in Washington, D.C. And UC Santa Barbara, the professor told me he found one text written by Thepo Tulku, in third Thepo Tulku, UC Santa Barbara. He told me, but he didn't show me. So, I told him I want to see. I have a book in India, in a collection in South India, Gandhi Monastery. Yeah. And then what happened is, that Thepo Tulku went to involved with the Mongolia. Mongolia was very heavily influenced with the Tibet. So some kind of like Mongolia is very well respected Tibetan Buddhism and protected for Tibetan Buddhism. Same time almost like invading kind of thing. And basically, so Mongolia invited Thepo Tulku to Mongolia to teach, giving the teaching. And so Thepo Tulku was in Mongolia a number of times. The Mongolian king and the third Dalai Lama. So that's what how Thepo Tulku was connected with the Dalai Lama was third Dalai Lama. And then from then, Thepo Tulku kind of organized, and the Mongolian king invited Dalai Lama to Mongolia, and that's what became a very successful. And then when they come back, Dalai Lama back to Tibet, and Dalai Lama gave a Thepo Tulku special title called official Thepo Tulku. They became recognized by the Tibetan government official. So they give a Thepo Tulku Ganden. They have a special line, snow line, not the regular line, the snow line. I don't know, we never see it yet. Really, but still we have a snow line. So it's in Thepo house. This is because Dalai Lama recognized him as a very successful, very fruitful something benefit for the connection with the Mongolia and the Tibet, some connections. And so that was during the third Dalai Lama and second Thepo Tulku. Yes.
So can you tell us a little bit about when the monk, you said, you mentioned to me once that many monks came to your home and then they were looking for you.
Yes, that was me. I was 3 years old. And I was born in a very small family, and my mother had a little, like a snack shops, and the father is like a carpenter. He does a carving. And they're simple family, and without any kind of like somebody there was 6 months sure. In that time we don't have a telephone, we don't have a kind of system to make the appointments. We just walk in, and the monks came, and within the 6 months, there's one monk who was previous Thepo Tulku, the 7 Thepo Tulku's attendants, close always with him. And other 5 monks are just normal monks, not nothing. Also, they're not even not close. They just pick up from the different monks to come together. And what they do is, the real who was the previous Thepo Tulku's close was more like a behind. He just like a kind of like a space and other one going there, oh little boy, come here, you know. And I think I just right away jumped to the monk who was there, and I just jumped in, and he pretended like he doesn't know, but then still I jumped in, and he was so out of control. He get tears coming out, and he cannot pretend to be he doesn't know me. So kind of like he really touched. And my parents doesn't know what's going on. Why the monks come here, and the boy was, so usually I'm a little boy, so not really friendly to go with a stranger, especially the monks have a different ropes. So my parents got a little bit confused. Why Then mom said, we're looking for the one Lama to recognize, but we have some candidates. I think they have some different candidates. So one of the candidates, they have a divination from the Lamas, came up at your house. So we came here just to meet. Nothing is special, just to meet. And then the monks came, and they spent a little time, and then they left. And my mother says, no, this is not going to be any Lama. Leave me alone. My father doesn't care. Okay. I think he's happy with me. My mother, no. I don't think so. This is not the Lama. I see here, he's going to be here. No, like a little bit. Yeah. And then they, after 3 months, then the monks came back again, and then they became a more formality. And then they talked to my father and mother, and then my mother and father, they went to see another High Lama, and then High Lama has approved the mother, told he is the Thepo Tulku. We did a lot of those motivations, all the, we did some special judgment, everything was, I passed. And then they wanted to do the final test. So the final test cannot do until the parents get the permission. That's the final test. When the final test, when the parents has to be, so okay, they agree to be a test, that means they can give you, if they recognize. So then they say, okay, my parents, I think because of the High Lama, talk to my parents, they really respect the Lama and they trust the way. My mother had a little bit, I'm the youngest boy, and she doesn't have a boy, she had a little daughter, but not boy, so she thinks this is boy, you know. And then, anyhow, they bring the test. The test is usually, most Lamas have a common, kind of like a test, that they bring a lot of these items. And one is previous Thepo Tulku, and some of the different, but look like similar. The little boy has to choose the right one. Yeah, maybe now the new Lamas test, maybe no more any that rituals, maybe iPhone or something. It may make it more easier, maybe, I don't know. Maybe iPhone, maybe I must do the fingerprint, maybe they will tell you yes or no, maybe. Anyhow, that's how it worked. And then I passed the test. So that's what then they confirmed the final. Then once the final test confirmed, then they send that list to the Dalai Lama. He's from Dalai Lama to get a special blessing, and the Dalai Lama has to be approved. And he was, because a particular, my case was, has to go through Dalai Lama, because we have a Tibetan Lama, also have many different, called Tibetan government official approval, like certified. That has to go through Tibetan government, has to be approved. And there are some individuals, they don't need to be approved, that is still their blessing. So that process went through, and then 57, I was in a little boy, separate from family, went to the Tenzin monastery.
So this is all the photograph I could find on the internet. The Ganden monastery in Tibet.
Yeah, this is the very little one part, but you will see this is like part. This is one of the very special monastery called Ganden. Is founder of the Gelugpa. The Tibetan have 4 major schools. Gelugpa, they have 4 major schools: Ganden, Sera, Jebu, Kashinambu, and Ganden is Tongkapa. Tongkapa, that's what the Tongkapa, founder of the Yellow Hat School. Tibetan had the Yellow Hat School, Red Hat School, and the Black Hat School, and Sakya School, and now we have a Bumbo, now we have a Chunam. So there are 6 major Tibetan religious schools, different lineage. Generally different lineage. So the Ganden is the Yellow Hat, founder of the Yellow Hat schools, Tongkapa. That was the Ganden. But this is, I think, was roots like taken after the Cultural Revolution, Chinese. That's what they already destroyed. When the Chinese Cultural Revolution came, they destroyed all Ganden monasteries. They probably just left a couple of buildings. China, they destroyed all. And that Cultural Revolution time, about 600 monasteries were destroyed. Yes, all in Tibet. 600 monasteries, not the small ones, big major monasteries destroyed. And also, I think over 1 million Tibetans was killed and several died because of that Cultural Revolution time. Especially the monks and nuns. They fearlessly killed and forced them to be lay people, put in a camp, prison. And all that happened during the Cultural Revolution came after the Chinese occupation in Tibet. And after Deng Xiaoping came, and then became a little east, and then they stopped. That is,
Can you tell us something about how you got to India?
yeah. And that was 1959. 1959, when the Chinese already in Lhasa, that was because yesterday we had commemorated that 56 years of the Chinese occupation in Lhasa area. And Dalai Lama escaped to India, and the Tibetan people followed the Dalai Lamas as India. Now, in Tibet, generally 6 million Tibetans. Now we have about over 100,000 Tibetans in exile in India, and I was one of those. But I myself cannot be escaped because I'm too little. I was only 5 years old, but in a monastery. And my teacher and some monks, they carried me from their shoulder. They carried me and to come to, I was able to come to India with their shoulder. It took about, my case, about they took 6 months from India to Tibet to India. The reason why, because we don't have any plan or any map to go direct to India. We even doesn't know where to go to. There is a hope. They were thinking maybe tomorrow will be okay. So they escaped. We tried to escape. One road is blocked. We have to go back that road. Then we have to stay daytime in the cave, nighttime escape. Then daytime stay in the bush or somewhere under the cave. Then we keep moving. And it took about 6 months to get to India. And finally, many people were able to reach India. Many people get a wrong direction and they died on the road. Some went to the wrong place and then they went to the high mountain for the snow, and at the wrong timing the snow was there, and then many people died on the way too. I was lucky one of them who were able to escape into India with my teachers, monks.
So you went to the young Lama school in Dhammasala. Can you tell us?
Yeah,
where are you? Tell us where you are.
This is me. This is 1960s. This is me. Yeah, I was the youngest one. I was 6 years old, 1960. And so those are the lamas. Most of them already passed away, enlightened or passed away, and some around here, reincarnated. But maybe Western, most of people will be know him. This is called Tumba Rinpoche. Chigyam Tumba Rinpoche, Dhammadhatu, founder of the Dhammadhatu, Tumba Rinpoche. He is the youngest, he is one of that time, the leader of the Tulkus on our leader. He who can speak English, very smart, and he lead us for that time, Tumba Rinpoche. He is the founder of the Dhammadhatu, all international level centers. He passed away in Chicago many years ago. And I was that time 5 years old. And this is a very unique picture, and also became a very special, because Tibet, I told you, Tibet we have different schools, yellow hat, red hat, black hat, Sakya, and these lamas all are mixed. They're not like one separate school, they're all mixed lamas. They choose 25 from yellow hat school, 25 from black hat school, 25 from Sakya and Guru all together, and we grown up. For 2 years I was get to school in there. I didn't learn anything. I was the youngest one, and I was I was just keep watching these other lamas. But anyhow, this became very unique because we met from the little boy. We met all the different school lamas together, and they've grown up. Each lama has a responsibility of their own different monastery. And so we became very much close. And right now, I still have some Lama friends. Now they are 80 years old, 70 years old. One is actually, I met one Lama, one of the Lama from here. I met last week in Los Angeles. Yeah, Los Angeles. And I haven't met him since about 1960s. I mean 63. Yeah, he in Bhutan. He was in Bhutan. He stayed there for Bhutan. I know he was somewhere there, but he came to Los Angeles, and last week we were together after 1963. So yeah, he was one of the Lama now in Bhutan. Yeah, this is South India. This is when I was in India, sitting in Tibetan monastery. Yeah, the Ganja monastery. This is South India. This is one of my students. We have a lot of kids students, little young students, and I do is also, we have, maybe next one, you can, we have many, yeah, those are some monks, and this is all different monks, and we do study together. I try to help them to teach Tibetan writing. I'm pretty good for Tibetan writing, so I was teaching to the Tibetan, even elder monks get some writing. And also, we have one problem is Tibetan kids in India. They're all together, study, play together. There are a lot of dogs, many dogs. The dogs has all those, I don't know, some disease. Each of the kids all together, all have got the problem of eating. I have to treat them, so I got able to get some fun together, clinic.
So that's you in the dark glasses?
Yeah, this is me. This is me. Yeah. So I'm trying to help him. We make a little clinic for all the kids. All those kids have because they play with different dogs. We have in India, we have a lot of dogs. So the dogs have all these eating problems. But that's why I'm making the helping the clinic to cure it out. So I study in India for Tibetan, same monastery from the Ganden monk there, but now we have about almost like 3,000 monks now in South India. Yeah, that same monastery. We have same monastery. This was 61. I don't have to pick that hat, but for some reason I think the camera too close, my hat became so big. This is in the monastery, yes.
So you're always happy?
Yeah. You know, yeah, this is a little bit serious. In the monastery, you have to be, cannot be too much happy. Yeah, in the monastery, you have to be real serious. Discipline is not that easy. In monastery, every morning we wake up early morning. We wake up 4 o'clock. Every morning, 4 o'clock, we wake up, we do the little meditation, do prayer, and then do the memories. So we have to do a lot of memorize. Right now we have a memory stick and put in the computer. We say, we don't have that. We do memory all here. So this is here is our memory stick. It's no USB. So we have everything in here. So all the books, I memorized how many books? If I count memorized book, maybe this is nothing. I memorized more than that. We memorize all the books to memorize. You have to memorize. After memorize, they will give it morning. I don't know how I did. I remember, Minister. I can memorize like 15, 20 pages. Memorize every day. Morning before 8 o'clock.
Oh my
Before
God.
8 o'clock?
Yes. Memorize. Yes. Memorize. Memory is very good. Yes. Then evening you have to decide. If you don't decide, then you forgot. Then yes, then memorize. Then this is a very important for. I think this is one thing. Memorize is good thing about it. Your mental practice, your brain very active, and it's become. And not the same. You go to driving. When you drive, you have to pay attention. You have to look everywhere. Then you can remember. Now you don't have these GPS installed on your brain. Now you don't know where you are. I say, you're right, I'm right here. So that's it. Before we always look at map, the attention, we know, before you go, we know where you're going to go. You know what's going to be visible, you have so much everything you're in your mind. Now this GPS, whatever those make you that you don't know, you just drive. So that's what we do. Tibetan is memorize is very important for the practice. And
So when did you come to America?
so I came here. The first I came here was 1979. The reason why, because I studied in my monastery 1975 to 80 in the university. This is like equivalent to university studies. And after that, I'm making a mistake myself. 1975 to 80, I was studying in the monastery. Same time I was working in the Tibetan Library archive. This is in Dharamsala. This is the only one library that is Tibetan government, Exiles, who runs. And with that time, we had a project between the Smithsonian and the library. And I was one of the who in charge, taking care of all the Tibetan part of the project, Smithsonian. Smithsonian has a special department called National Human Studies. They are studying about human studies. They're called anthropology. They keep changing words. Sometimes they're called anthropology, sometimes called human studies, whatever they're called. Basically, they try to preserve all the old cultures, what is vanishing. They try to save it. So Smithsonian has a very interest to do that project. In Tibetan library, we also wanted to have some kind of that similar project, but we don't have the money. So when the Smithsonian became interested, then we became a joint project. So that's why we did a joint project, and I traveled all India, Tibetan monasteries, because we can't go to India, no, Tibet. So Ladakh, Nepal, Bhutan, we did a lot of this research, all the monasteries. We went. The only thing I didn't go to the Bhutan part. I went to Ladakh, most of the Ladakh monasteries. I did all the research, I did all the information registered in Nepal, South India, North India, every place, Tibetan monasteries. We did all registered, we did all archive, all the information. And the Smithsonian did a lot of the training about the Tibetan lives. I served as a culture advisor for the Tibetan Library Archive for 5 years. And so that was 1979. Then that time I came to Washington DC, 79, part of the project. And at that time, the reason why I came 79 because the Dalai Lama is the first time after 20 years in exile, first time came to United States was 1979. And they sent me 2 weeks before to make everything ready for His Holiness. So that's why I was very fortunate to have kind of like opportunity to welcome His Holiness in Washington DC Smithsonian for the first his trip. And his second, from Washington DC he came here, the GDU 1979. His Holiness came here. Yeah, same here. So this is GDU is a very history, something for special for Dalai Lama memory. He never forgot because this is his first trip in the Bay Area. The GDU was who invited, and he came here. He was blessed. So it's, I think they have some kind of connections spiritually. And I think that was the. And then I came. After that, I went back to India, and then 1983, I come back to Bay Area, and that is nothing to do with the Tibet Library. I designed the Tibet Library. Before you have to forget, I have to tell you the one thing maybe you missed the fact is I was monk before. You see all the monk robes, and in 1980, after I come back from Smithsonian, I was worked for library 1 more year. Then I resigned from the monk. I resigned for the monk. I became a lay person. I'm a layman, and then I came to America as a lay person, lay Buddhist, as a lay Buddhist. And in Dharamsala, I have to tell you one thing. When I was in Dharamsala, working in the library, that time is a hippie, the hippie culture came. A lot of hippie came to Dharamsala. You maybe know right now, very famous these days, Tibetan Buddhist scholar, he called Robert Thurman.
Yeah.
You know, Thurman, he was a hippie. And I know him when he was a hippie. I know a lot of scholars from Virginia University. We have Tibetan scholars, a lot of hippies. Now they're all shit. Very good people, very good. But I had a very good time with them. They changed my life too. They changed hippie. Converted a little bit in my because when I was a little boy, I was a monk, and also I have a title of Lama. It became all very respectful. Every Tibetans they go like this. When I come, I walk, and people go back. And, you know, I talk. They listen. They never ask one question. That's it. And then I think I'm enlightened, but there's no question. Everything's fine. He became. They said, no, I don't believe you. I'm not going to buy this. So became very much to me, more like my teacher. They might practice, my whatever thing I learned, they deny accepting, and then they got a lot of questions. Then I had a chance to go back to my teacher. This hippie is telling me this, I don't know what to say. So it became a very unique relationship with the hippie. So I want to go to involve with it more hippie. I'll keep going with them. Try to more like, playful, but same time they're just joking and then debating kind of like that. Then many Tibetan people saw not many Tibetan Lamas going with the hippies. So I'm the one of them frequently going with the hippies. So Tibetan people call me nickname. They give me nickname called Hippie Lama. What happened? That Tibetan they don't pronounce well hippie. They keep calling me Happy Lama. I accept it's good, Happy Lama. I became Happy Lama. So that was one of my experience with the non-Tibetans. They are great. They came here to looking for some searching for spiritual and this revolution of some materialisms, and the Dharamsala was a perfect place for them to meet with the Tibetans and hippies, and it became basically it's a really good experience. Then I came here 1983, Bay Area. Since 1983 until for 3 years ago, I lived and grown up in Bay Area. And I work at a Starbucks. This is my manager. And this is, I think, one of the St. Patrick's Day or something we had to be doing. So I worked at Starbucks for 8 years. 8 years with that Starbucks.
Wow.
The manager was very nice to me because I don't have any job experience. My job for my Tibetan learning book, nobody, whenever I fill up, nobody give me a job. What's this? You fill up the resume, what is this? So this manager told me, I said, do you hire? She told me, you have experience? I said, no. She was laughing. This is I'll teach you, don't worry. Then she gave me a job, be a Starbucks barista. And then I became a barista. I worked there. I enjoy it. But one thing is, I'm very picky. I only like to open. I don't want to close. Because closing is a lot of work. I just like my manager. And I only open, please. She was nice to me. I only open. Open, I have no problem. Because it works very well. Starbucks is usually mostly people are students. A lot of young students. They don't like to wake up early morning. They have too much party, sitting, whatever. So they need somebody who open early morning. It needs to be very reliable. Starbucks have to do open early morning like 4 o'clock. I have to 4:30. I have to be there 3:45. I said, no problem. I guarantee this will be because I've run up with waking up early morning anyhow. So I have no problem with waking up early morning. So I worked at Starbucks for 8 years. Every day morning, 3:45. I never missed one day late. So that was, they were very happy. Yeah. I'm not good for really making part of this. Not that fast, but still, I'm very reliable, 3:45. So they didn't fire me, they keep me in there. And so, in that time, people call me, I got name change, no more Happy Lama, but people call me People Man. Because maybe I talk too much to the customers, so people call me, where's the People Man? So my nickname became People Man.
Great.
So this is one of the, I was speaking to the freedom for this Tibetan man. He is a Tenzin. He was in the prison for many years. Now he released. I think it's because it helps. We speak a lot, and now he was released. But he cannot come out from Tibet. He had to stay in house arrest. But he out from the jail for 13 years. He made a Tibetan music, kind of like a Tibetan, making a video. So China government says you're making video, nothing to do with politics, but because of him making a video, they put him in jail. His wife is Indian, and have 4 kids, and he was stuck in that. The wife had nothing, only can survive by herself with 4 kids by selling bread in the street. Yes. And I was spoken with the freedom of speakers in Los Angeles. So what I believe myself, what I believe is I'm a quite activist for the Tibetan human rights because I believe Dharma or spiritual practice means to something to do with avoiding suffering for the other people. So your people is suffering, you just ignoring, oh, this is politics, and try to visualize some other suffering in your mind and try to think manifesting and to be a benefit. I think this is not realistic. Realistic is more be active and be a activist. I think this is more very important for, I believe that myself. Some people think, oh, you are spiritual people, you shouldn't be an activist, you should be in a temple, meditate and visualize your suffering in your mind, and then you're cured by your, enlightened by the meditating. Of course, some lamas have a power, but not me. My one is only go by myself, be activist and be speak up for the suffering. That's what support of free Tibet. That's what usually we Tibetan, all the Tibetans, we do for our country. Not only our country, I think I really believe Tibet is not only for Tibet. I think Tibet became a peaceful zone. If Tibet became a peaceful zone, that's going to be effect for the peace for all over the Asian country. That will be make it easy for all countries. So hopefully, that's my motivation. Here, that's the first time we met. Yeah, after internet dating, we met the first time. That is the Tibetan Community Center in Richmond. Tibetan Community Center in Richmond. And we are the first time we met the community because Nagasone called me and Tibetan president at that time, Konchuk Tashi, he emailed me. I wanted you to meet these people, and these people have too many questions. I don't. Yeah, this is His Holiness Dalai Lama. I was very fortunately met His Holiness many times. Many times. I was really blessed, especially. 2 reasons. One reason, I grew up in Dharamsala, where is His Holiness Dalai Lama lives, and my teacher, Guru, is very close to Dalai Lama's. He does a lot of assistance with His Holiness, part of his spiritual practice. That's why His Holiness see me as very mischievous boy. Yeah, because I was a little boy, I'm not a person who meditate or calm. I always like to move around. Yeah. So even I told His Holiness, permission. I told His Holiness, I love to study, I like to practice. I don't like ritual meditating and all that. His Holiness laughing, but he kind of like didn't say no. So kind of like he was laughing, so give me permission to be sometimes we have a monastery, sometimes we have rituals. The whole day. I can say a ritual for 1 hour, not more than 1 hour. Meditate, yes, but we have a certain retreat, that's different. Generally meditation, some people say I do meditate 3 hours or 1 hour, I think bullshit. I myself to meditate, when you meditate, your mind is always somewhere else. I mean, of course then you go, oh, tomorrow I'll go to shopping. Actually, your body is very relaxed, but your mental is too disturbing because nobody bothers you. You're thinking too much, thinking about your cell and what you want to do tomorrow, cooking and all. I was thinking, I try myself, but then I said, okay, no. I'm going to meditate every day, half an hour. Then, if you do half an hour really well, and you really can be meditate properly, then you can extend to another 15 minutes. Then you can extend another 15 minutes. That's okay. Every day you meditate 3 hours. There is no way unless you are really achieve some capability of some kind of mental control. That time that time is you don't need to be practiced. You are already achieved certain level there. But I'm not that achieved. I'm just an ordinary person. I have a title of Lama, yes. I'm a Rinpoche. I have a full responsibility of my monastery and of Tibetan. But I'm not enlightened. I'm not proper even half an hour. That shows right away. From the half an hour I cannot control. That means nothing's great. If I'm achieved, I will let you know when I'm achieved. Right now, my memory, even the meditation memory goes worse. Before, when I was a little boy, he kind of like the monks talked to me. I kind of responding, like I remembered my previous life. I was the monks told my mother. But there is, I think the boy not going to tell lie. Boy have no any like a motivation to be famous or something. This little boy, 3 years old, no reason for it, But I think for myself, maybe when a little boy, you just came back from the conversion past life, maybe have a very pure, no negativities involved that much. So maybe that time have a little bit of pure kind of sense of the clear your visions. Then now, I've almost forgot about today to come into the meeting here to talk. You forgot about the meditation level. So I think that, but anyhow, His Holiness was I was very lucky to have His Holiness, and His Holiness, some kind of His Holiness also kind of like me, quite honestly. Many times he come to see me, he bless me, because the second reason, many lamas go to see His Holiness, get a blessing. His Holiness said, how's everything? Because of His Holiness' blessing, we are everything fine. Yeah. For me, I will say some problems. So every time His Holiness see me, he said, what's the problem? What is your next problem? So I share Lama His Holiness like my guru. Not only, of course His Holiness Dalai Lama was our Tibetan spiritually, politically, he was our leader. Of course we have respect as a leader, but my personal relation with His Holiness is my guru, pure guru. My guru, we share. Guru means you share you're not going to hide once. Everything I made mistake, I share with His Holiness. Everything problem, I share with His Holiness. So His Holiness had a purely understanding of the, every time he see me, I'm not here the trouble. So there is His Holiness has so much, kind of like he has so much, he re-energized His Holiness, re-energized. And like for example, like when I was disrupt, monk, disrupt is your choice. Tibetan Buddhism philosophy, you become a monk. When you become a monk, you have to be like a kind of commitment, be alive. Not like I want to be a monk for not like a Thailand or something. You have to have 6 months or 1 year. Tibetan Buddhism, traditionally, if you become a monk, you have to be commitment for your life. That's your motivation. But still, you don't want to decide to be not monk. You can be, anytime you can walk out. You don't need to be permission from Lama. You don't need to get a permission from monastery. You just tell to one monk that I don't want to be a monk anymore today. Once he understood, you are no more monk. So freedom is very, very free. You have no any to sign resignation, no resignation. You can be easily kept out from the monastic life. So very easy. But as a society, especially like in my case, like Rinpoche, Lama, High Lama, people love to be stay like a Lama. They don't like to be disrupted. They feel so, they feel so sad. Oh, you disrupt me, that's not good. They feel very sad, and then you don't want to see their face. Then you feel like kind of like, some people uncomfortable. You see him, your friend, your regular friend. Then you don't want to see them because they see you, oh, you're no man, oh, yeah, they love to be at this, stay there. And also when you disrupt, one good for me experience, very good for your experience of your practice, your real life. Because sometimes you're a little boy, you treat the very Lama, we become a little bit spoiled. You have good respect, high throne, people come to you, respect you. You become a little ego, you become more like I'm a Rinpoche. As soon as you begin to disrupt, everybody goes like that way. Oh, who I am now? This is the real, good part of your own practice for who you are and how do you reach you. Then you remember what is your practice, the real how to utilize. You don't know how to utilize practice, then you become a danger too. Danger to, I became kind of like, now I become nothing, I'm hopeless. So that means you're not practicing, not using your practice as reality. This is something that you become kind of like lost. So it was very good for me be a lay people for, but still I didn't go to see the Dalai Lama. I stay in Delhi. Every time Dalai Lama come, I just go hide under behind there. I don't want to see His Holiness. So because one day His Holiness see me and call me. What happened? Huh? I said, look at what happened to you. And then he's joking. Then I told him, I'm no monk. Well, he told me, he's just joking. Then later he's one told me, okay, you're not monk, doesn't mean you're not Lama, doesn't mean you cannot practice. You have to continually be your responsibility as a Lama, whatever you're doing practice, you have to be a practice. Don't be excuse be a no monk and then be a whatever you want to do. No, that's wrong. You have to be fully, you have to stay your practice. So that's what the Son is giving me the energy to become more, to be my own life, to be grown up with a pure part of the practice.
Okay. So you can talk some more?
Okay. You
No.
have
No, we, you can have, you're open to questions, right?
yes, questions.
You can ask him any question you want. He may not answer. Okay.
So I want to know, so what was the practice that the Dalai Lama meant that you had to continue? What kind of practice?
Practice that His Holiness, when I told you I haven't seen him His Holiness many times. So I've been in His Holiness teachings many times. So generally, what His Holiness was telling me, whatever you been in practice, don't take that excuse you're not monk and just give up the practice. This practice is continually you have been developed because human, we call it Tibetan Buddhism. Everybody can be enlightened. Everybody. There is no High Lama can be enlightened and the lay people cannot be enlightened. No, High Lama can be Guru, lay people be equally, if you practice, you can be equally Guru. So you have a Buddha Chitta, Buddha mind. Buddha mind is very precious. So your Buddha mind is with you. So you cannot be this value cannot be abandoned because actually, before I'm a monk, I'm practicing, now I'm lay people, I can be nothing. So he was saying is continually you do your practice and continually and develop your Tibetan mostly practice is Bodhicitta. Bodhicitta is a common Tibetan practice. That is to develop your compassion.
Okay. Any other questions? Yes.
Right. So you were recognized as the 8th Thepo Tulku. So is there going to be a 9th Thepo Tulku?
Yeah, that's a good question. Good question. Tibetan traditionally, Tulku is continually, it depends on how your followers who are demanding. But mostly, generally, Tibetan Lamas, they come back because the student requests or your followers who request come back. Like for example, like if you come here today, next time you like my talk, you become friendly, they come back next time, right? Okay, if I enjoy it, I'll come back. So my case, Tulku, I will tell you two things. Now, for my not only me, now the Tibetan, the institution of the Tulku reincarnation, I think long time ago until now, Tibet, in the institution of the Tulku is very important. Because one Tulku will be the responsibility of the monastery and all the community in that geographically, so it became a very helpful and a very necessary. Now I think less Tulku is more important than more Tulku. Tulku became a more limitless nowadays. Nowadays, too many Tulkus, everybody said, I'm Tulku, I become Tulku, everybody became a Tulku. This Tulku became more like a star. So I think for my general point, Tulku is less Tulku is more practical than more Tulku. And I must say, I don't know yet, because it depends on my practice, depends on the environment of my practice. And tell you the truth, I don't have any think about Tulku, next step of Tulku coming or not. I didn't think about it. The only thing right now is the free Tibet. This is right now, I have my agenda, is the freedom in Tibet. I have no agenda to think about the Thepo Tulku next, I should come or not. I have not in my mind yet. So if I die tomorrow, that means no more Thepo Tulku. If I still long life, maybe there is some possibility, so we don't know yet.
Any other questions? Yes, Richard.
Some time ago, I think I read that the Dalai Lama may have hinted that he may be the last Dalai Lama. Any truth to that, and what do you think of that?
Yes, His Holiness also hinted his possibility. This could be not the last His Holiness Dalai Lama, the 14th, but he didn't say he's the last. He said it depends to the Tibetan people. And very clearly His Holiness says he will not born in Tibet or China until Tibet is free. That means he was born in outside Tibet or outside China. That was he indicated. Number 3, he also says, until now all Dalai Lamas are male. He says it could be possible female Dalai Lama. So there is another His Holiness Dalai Lama. So His Holiness gave a lot of, right now is, he didn't say he's the last, but he says if there is no reason to be a Tibet, necessarily there not reason to be have to be a Dalai Lama in 16th, but he will depend to the, and he says he will decide. Maybe like when he became 90 years old, maybe he will decide. So we Tibetan, all the Tibetans and all of us, we have to believe he will come. He will come. Because reason is because his commitment to save Tibet is Dalai Lama's, save the world is Dalai Lama's agenda. And we haven't accomplished yet. So that means he continually has to come to save us. So we really 100% believe. If we have a problem, he run away, then why there's a 14 Dalai Lama? There have to be 15 Dalai Lama to be continually to be protected and saved our lead, our sufferings. So we 100% we believe he will. And we will, this next July, this July will be, he's going to be 80 years old, 80 years. And His Holiness will be celebrating his 80 years birthday in Los Angeles. July 6th, yes.
July what?
July 6th. July 6th, 2015, His Holiness is going to be 80 years and going to be celebrated in Los Angeles. That was confirmed. So we were that time we will make sure he will say, yes, he will come. That was before his cake cut, we will make sure that he could.
One last question.
I have a quick question. I live in El Cerrito here but we have, of course, the Kyoto monks in the Richmond area, right near El Cerrito. They had said, and even in writing, in a letter that they sent out last year, 2 years ago maybe, that they were expecting to have His Holiness actually be present up at the Kyoto in Richmond sometime around his 80th birthday. Do you know anything about that?
Oh.
I imagine they're
Yes,
expecting,
yes.
but I don't know if it's going to happen.
I think they're hoping.
Yeah.
But definitely not on his birthday, his birthday. His birthday will be confirmed in Los Angeles. But there is, right now, there is a little schedule change. So October, he will be coming to Bay Area. Right now, I just had one meeting, I said, so October, his holidays may be possibility coming to the
Bay Area.
Yeah, October. So that is still
October?
It is birthday, yes.
Okay, well, we'd like to thank the Venerable
Okay.
Thepo. Thank you for coming and sharing your life with us.
Thank you very much.
And there's donation here to Free Tibet, $20 per book. Is that okay?
Yes.
25 is okay too. And there's still a little bit more food, and so he'll be here for a few minutes, so you can ask him whatever question that you may want.
Yes, and here I give him a special stuff for Professor Lama. Yellow is power. And energy. So energy. Sun. So professors, all his activities, all will become like sun ray, all over the world.